Welcome to Captives Over Cocktails, the only place where we serve up complex funding strategies with a twist of lime and a splash of attitude.
We're your hosts. I'm Lydia.
And I'm Ashley. And we're here to break down the world of captives. No jargon, no fluff, just real talk about what's working, what's not, and what you actually need to know to win in this space.
So think of this as your insider happy hour. Whether you're a seasoned broker, a captive curious advisor, or just here for the vibes, we've got something for you.
So grab a drink, turn up the volume, and let's dive into the stories, strategies, and straight up truths that are reshaping the funding landscape.
This is Captives Over Cocktails. Cheers.
Welcome back to Captives Over Cocktails. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Lydia. And today we are raising our glasses to something real. Breaking barriers and overcoming the curveballs of being a woman in a male-dominated industry. And this really isn't insurance specific.
Absolutely not. You can think of us on this episode as your big sister mentors in any industry, but specifically the corporate world.
Yeah, and the good news, we're flipping the narrative today. We are not here to complain. We are here to rewind. What would we want our younger selves to know? And this is going to be great for anyone graduating college, entering the workforce, and honestly for any woman in any type of role. So let's dig into what it really means to push through the noise, the doubt, and sometimes the straight up nonsense. Sound good?
Sounds good. Yeah, I think this will be great, especially if like myself, I came from a background with two kind of blue collar parents. No one really in the corporate world to guide me, to tell me what to expect. Everything I learned from bad TV shows, which is completely not true.
Right.
Don't use those as a frame of reference. Internships are helpful, but still, even in the internship, you're learning on the job. There's actually a stat out there about men who come from white collar families and how much more likely they are to get promoted quickly because they have the knowledge base and the mannerisms already down that you need in the corporate world. So yeah, let us give you those. Let us give you those pieces of advice that we didn't have. Let's jump into it.
Yeah. So let's talk about mindset first. I think for me personally, one of the biggest shifts was realizing that I didn't need to know everything to belong in the room. And that's a confidence thing, right? Then that's also a knowledge base. And I think we need to set ourselves up and prepare ourselves and to learn our industry or learn our product in whatever type of role we're in. But I think that we need to have the confidence too of feeling like if I have this role, if this is where I'm at, then I do belong. And so, for me, especially coming into the industry a few years ago, this is a very complicated space. So really feeling like I was in a room that I belonged in and feeling that confidence and that ownership, I think that's something that, as people are graduating from college right now, going into those internships and then going into those corporate roles, learn it, but also have the confidence. And it's okay to be wrong as well. So I think that, Ashley, I'm sure you have felt maybe the pressure to be perfect. I think we all have felt that before.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I think the biggest thing for me is it's okay to ask questions. Questions aren't a weakness.
Yeah.
Being quiet and listening more than you talk, also not a weakness. Really taking everyone else's opinions in, right? Not just saying things to be heard, because I think that sometimes when everyone else at a table is talking and you're new to the industry or you're new to the company and you just want to show that you're a go-getter, it's certainly okay to be the one who asks the questions and that's how you get your voice across, or you just say, one really impactful thing at the end. I think, like I said, for me, I always wanted to be the one who kept raising my hand because I was I'm here, I have ideas.
Right.
And that probably looking back, I think listening now is my biggest top tip. It's you learn a lot more by listening. So yeah.
Right. And I think it's about, you're playing two roles, right? I am big on listening. And I think that anyone that works with me when we are in a group setting or when we're in a meeting, I'm one that I like to process. I'm probably not going to be the first one to say something or to jump in because I really want my words to matter. But even if you are the first to jump in to ask the questions, or maybe if you're more like me, where you're really just trying to process and be kind of that critical thinker before making an interjection, it's about owning your voice. And whether that's by listening or whether that's by speaking, do whatever makes you feel most comfortable, because even
Yeah.
if your hands are shaking when you're taking notes, or when you do raise your hand to ask that question to interject and your voice is quivering, that's still, you need to have confidence around that, because I think
Hmm.
confidence doesn't always mean loud and that you
Yeah.
know everything. It means grounded, and grounded can be
Yeah.
by being an active listener or
Yeah.
being an active speaker. And that's honestly something that I think a lot of people struggle with. I'm so confident in who I am as a person, but in a room where I'm not the smartest, or when I'm at a table that I'm not the smartest, which, by the way, are the best kinds to be in, right?
Yeah.
Because
I
you're
was just gonna
learning and
say,
you're
you don't
growing.
want to be the smartest at the
No,
table.
no. I
Yeah.
think sometimes, like, as women especially, we tend to maybe discount ourselves, and instead we really need to ride with confidence. Even if we don't know everything, guess what? We are still in that room and we are still at that table.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think having early on, finding someone you really trust as a
Mhm.
mentor, someone who will teach you the business. I probably would not be where I am today if I did not have great mentors very early on
Yeah.
who taught me exactly what we're trying to teach you now, which is, hey, like, what did you think of how I was in that meeting? Or, hey, how do you think I should approach this? Or I want to get here and how do I get there? Certainly somebody helping to guide you, and like I said, someone that you trust and that you respect. I
Mhm.
think that's another thing, is find someone that you want to be like. There's always a saying, like, you're most similar to the 5 people you like closely surround yourself with, and so that really matters when you think about corporate culture. um and I It's very easy to get sucked into, I don't want to even say the wrong crowd because that sounds like high school,
Right.
but be very intentional as a woman about the people that you surround yourself with. Like I said, my biggest tip is, like, find the people that you respect and want to be like, and
Absolutely.
try to work with them. And that will go very far in my mind.
Absolutely. And like, connect with people. You don't have to connect with people that are at your level either,
Yeah.
right? I've tried to connect with a few CEOs. I've connected with some people, some competitors, because I see that they are strong women in this industry. So I love what you said about, like, seeking those mentors, because I think it is so important to find someone, whether they're at your same company, whether they're a different company, find someone that has paved the path before you, to see some
Mm.
of the challenges that they have had, to see the obstacles that they've had to overcome. And so make sure to use your real resources, because I think as women in this industry and in other industries, we need to be willing to band together to
Yeah.
support each other. And I think that one of the things that I'm very big on, and I have a 14-year-old daughter too, and I always tell her, be a crown straightener,
Yeah.
right? Like, always make sure, if someone's crown is crooked, go up to them and straighten it. You want to be a supporter. You want to help
Yeah.
their voice when their voice is quivering. And so I think that is something it's so important for us as women to do, because if we are not respecting each other, how do we expect anyone else to give us that respect?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And also that lends itself to, it's a small world. It's a
Hmm.
very small industry.
Yeah.
Whatever your industry is, it doesn't matter. They're all small. I am now working with people that I literally thought I would never see again, ever. I've recruited people to this company from my past 4 companies. I'm working with someone from every aspect now. And be very careful about the things you say, be very intentional about the things you say, be kind. Never just burn bridges. Yeah, just, you should know your boundaries. And it's like your grandma always says, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. um and I think
Absolutely.
that holds true for the corporate world as well. Like, don't get sucked into the gossiping and the putting other people down to get yourself ahead. That'll only get you so far, which isn't
Yeah.
very far. And those might sound like really silly lessons, but I think they're very important, because you can very quickly fall into, oh, it's easier to talk to the people who feels like they're having conversations, and, like, yeah, hold your head high, be the crown straightener, like you said. And I think that goes further than falling into kind of those traps. So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I love what you said about not burning bridges, right? Because we all maybe leave a company and we're like, oh, I'll never see these people again. Or, we all kind of get caught up in that maybe gossip or the industry gossip sometimes. And you really need to set yourself apart because it is a big, small industry. And I think it's just so important that for anyone entering the workforce, make sure that your reputation is strong. Make
Yeah.
sure that you are creating those boundaries with yourself. And it's okay to excuse yourself from a conversation as well. I've done that many of times where I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna just
And a
I'm gonna
room,
not sit
quite
it.
frankly. It's
Yeah,
okay to excuse yourself from a room or a place you don't feel like you should be anymore. I am
absolutely.
a like 10 p.m. in my hotel room girl. Like,
Hmm.
you do not find me out. Nothing good happens after it gets dark.
That's what our parents always said.
I know,
We were
like
so mad at them for saying that.
my grandmother just like yells at me in my ear. I'm like, okay, I'm going home.
Right. It's so right. It's so right. So yeah, just I think this is just a good little tips and tricks for any woman in the industry, any woman
Yeah.
outside of this industry, and especially for the young workforce right now that's graduating, entering into this wild, wild west of a corporate world.
Yeah, I think my last piece of advice is to stay curious. It's so easy to fall into, thinking that you have everything mastered
Mhm.
and not rising to challenges when you get really comfortable. Men are much more naturally in this industry given leadership opportunities and promotions. And it's just a fact. I'm not
Yep.
saying, no politics here. It just is. There's statistics on it. So
Yeah.
don't come for me. Yeah, but I think raising your hand for the opportunities, even if you don't feel like you're ready for it, challenge yourself, stay curious, push yourself. I think those are all really good pieces of advice that I don't think I see enough women kind of pouring into themselves that way and saying, yes, like I can do that. I am smart enough to do that. I'm so proud to lead. I have a bunch of women on my team. The producer on this call is one of them. And, I've got another woman on my team who has 3 kids. And the way she has blossomed in the past like few months, where I'm just changing her perspective about what she can do. She never
Yeah.
thought she would be on like external calls. And I was like, of course you can be on external calls. Like, look at all the knowledge you have. Like, you just got to find one where you can like feel like you can fumble, right? And like,
Right.
let's do it. Like, let's try it. And now she's on all my external calls. So, and she's a huge asset to the team. So, I think it's finding like I said, raising your hand, but also finding someone who believes in you, your boss, work for people that you admire as much as you
Hmm.
can.
That is so important. So
Yeah.
important. So awesome. Well, thanks, Ashley. I'm glad that we
Yeah.
could give some advice to the younger generation. God, that makes us sound so old. And maybe
I don't
even
know what you're
just,
talking about. I'm 23.
or are we 21?
I graduated last month.
Oh, good.
Yes. No, it's good. We need more women raising up other women in the corporate world. There needs to be more women in strong leadership positions. And I'm always happy when I stumble upon them. We just had Frances Gay on from Bexa. She's in a senior leadership position, and we're talking to more senior leaders who are women throughout the summer, and we love to see it. So
Well, cheers to
strong
that.
celebrators. Cheers to that.